Hello everybody, Jim CG here, and this is going to be my top 4 Blender 2.8 features. And I just want to highlight 4 things that I'm really excited about and I really love about the upcoming version. Um, this isn't like in any order, like best to worst, or I mean, you know what I mean. It's not in any order, it's just what I came up with as I came up with it. Alright, number 4. So Grease Pencil has been in Blender for quite a while. It was originally envisioned as an annotation tool, and you still have that ability in 2.8. It's actually just called the annotation tool now instead of Grease Pencil. But Grease Pencil itself has kind of transformed into its whole another 2D animation mode within Blender. And it's really great. You can see the hero. Oh, there's my cat. You can see the hero open movie. It was done totally in Blender with Grease Pencil. I think the backgrounds are 3D, but still. And I'm not a great artist, as you can see here, but I want to give it a go. Um, I want to play with it, try and do some 2D animations, and you've got some really great tools here. Like as you can see, I'm using a mirror modifier, just like in regular 3D Blender. You've got it here, and you've got things like you can sculpt your strokes, almost like a little sculpting brush type thing, and that can really, like, if you want to make do little nudges and things with your strokes, you've got that ability. It kind of, it can almost work like the liquify, or maybe not quite the liquify, but similar to the distortion in Photoshop, stuff like that. Um, And you can also do like 2.5D type things. So you can have fully 3D backgrounds, and then have 2D hand-drawn characters in front of them. And it's just amazing, and I'm pretty excited to give it a go. But probably not going to be showing too much of it until I become a master artist someday, right? We all want that. But seriously, definitely give this a try, and 2D animation software should watch out for this one. Okay, number 3. So 2.79 has a kind of gray and rather drab color scheme, and jump over to 2.8. This contrast is striking. Um, it has a dark theme that's easier on the eyes, and it's just all around better looking. And I know you can do custom themes in both versions, but defaults are what most users are going to use, and especially new users. And the default theme in 2.8 is awesome. Along with that, things have been restructured and organized. You'll see lots of differences all over the place. One of my favorites is workspaces. Just quickly getting into a workspace that is tailored to what you're trying to do. Sculpting, modeling, UV editing, instead of having to open up or split windows and change things here and there. It basically just has everything set for you, and you can make your own custom ones to fit your workflows. Other than that, we've got this whole menu system here has been changed and made so much better, because in 2.79, to access all of them, you have to scroll, and you can't see it all at once, and that's kind of a pain. I mean, it's a little thing, but it's a pain. 2.8, it's all right here. You just click the one you want, and they've added these colors, which make it a little easier to tell which one's which. And these do change a bit depending on what you're working on. Like, I think curves, these are going to be a few different options here, and so on. Another thing are the tool panel here. It is totally changed. Like, they've added icons for everything, as opposed to before it was just buttons with words, like so. And you know, if you wanted to make this small like it is in 2.8, you really can't read. Well, I mean, you know, you can kind of get the idea of what these are, but not as quickly. It's just memorizing what the icons are, and then you can just click and go. Some of these things aren't there. They're not there right away, but when you're doing um, a lot of these things, they sort of open up for that, and you've got that stuff up here as well. So I think that's a much better system. And collections is another thing that they've changed. In 2.79, you have these layers, and they're finite, and you can only do so much with them. But collections are nearly infinite, and they sort of work like a layer system as well, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, I can make a whole video on UI by itself, and I might even do that. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, and number 2, eevee is by far one of the coolest additions, and I can't wait to learn how to use it because I really I'm not good with the whole rendering and texturing and lighting thing, and that's something I'm working on. Um, yeah, this is a demo scene you can download from when I think on Blender's page for 2.8. I'm not sure if it's still there, but when I got 2.8 the first time, like November of last year, they had these right there you can download as examples. There's a few other really cool ones, but my computer cannot handle them in real time, so that's why I'm doing this one. Yeah, so I mean, having a real-time renderer, especially for indie game devs, is groundbreaking. You basically can set up a scene, a character, an asset of some kind, texture it, light it, and you can have a really good approximation of how it's going to look in engine. And that's, you know, usually you'd have to use like something like Marmoset's Toolbag or something like that. Use it in school a little bit. I don't remember. Um, but you know, this is right in Blender. No, no fuss, no muss. It's just right here. So this is definitely one of the best things about 2.8. Okay, and finally, number 1 of the top 4 features of Blender 2.8, 80 as I should be calling it. Right click or oh jeez, left click select. Um, 2 point Blender since up till now has been a right click select and has been proud of it, and you know, like kind of bucking trends, and you know, that was cool. And you know, it's still possible for veterans to continue to use it that way. And I really cut my teeth, I think, in 2.5 with Blender. And at the time I was still in school and I was learning Maya. So jumping from back and forth was so frustrating because, um, you know, obviously Maya is like everything else. It's left click to select. It's like an industry standard. I mean, just in computers in general, like left click to select. And so, I mean, I could get used to it, and I did. But then, you know, if I spent like a week not using Blender and I was just using Maya, I'd come back to Blender and ugh, it was all over again. I would just be left clicking the 3D cursor all over the place, and that would ruin my pivot points. um, very frustrating. But with 2.8 is now default left click select, and I am super happy about this change, and I think newcomers are going to be as well. Um, so that is, I think that what they've done here is really great for users. Um, what am I trying to say? It's great for usability, and it's great for users just coming into the software, coming from other software. Um, And then some really nice creature comforts like left click and drag to select things. You couldn't do that um, in 2.79. You'd have to hit the B key, and then you could do a box select, um, or you could hold. I think it was like Shift C or something, and you could do like a circle select. Um, but this is just so natural. Even like Windows desktop operates this way, and so I think everyone is going to be kind of used to that and like that. And then right clicking gives you a menu. So this is like a radical change for Blender, I think, but a great one in my opinion. So yeah, um, thanks for watching, and please let me know if making that video on the UI, all the different changes, is something you want to see. Let me know in the comments. And oh, the model I used was by Alessandro Chiffi from ONdata Studio, and I'm going to leave a link in the description to the video showing it off that they put up and where you can download it on Blender's site. So that's it. I'm gonna this video will be releasing around the time that the first release candidate of Blender 2.80 comes out, so it's pretty exciting. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Alright, I'm going this for real this time. Bye now.